Hello everyone, back to our North America map. My name is Jason from Map of the Month, Maps of the Classroom. We're going to be continuing along with our map of North America that we've started. This is our fourth video, fourth episode for this map, and you can see I told you I was going to color the rest of Mexico in, and you can see I've added one other thing, the Yucatan Peninsula. So if you want to, and that's a good word if you're not sure what a peninsula is. It's a piece of land that is surrounded by water on 1, 2, 3 sides, just like Florida is a classic peninsula. 1, 2, 3 sides. All right, and here's another peninsula over here where we'll talk a little bit about that too. All right, so let's get right into a couple of things that we want to get done before we leave Mexico. I'd like to label the Gulf of Mexico, which is a big body of water that touches upon Mexico and the United States and a lot of these, some of these islands in the Caribbean. Okay, so let's start off with Gulf of Mexico. I think I'll use all capitals for this. And remember when we labeled the oceans, we put those little decorations on the letters. You can do that with the Gulf of Mexico as well. That's a nice little touch that you can decorate your map a little. Okay, also here's a very much more narrow Gulf. This is the Gulf of California. I think I'll use lowercase just to make it fit a little easier. Gulf of California, just like the state. Okay, now we have a list of bodies of water going here. Why don't we go and check off those two, Gulf of California and Gulf of Mexico. All right, that gets us getting close to the United States. Well, we are. We're right along. Now we're in Mexico, and we're going to cross the border into the United States. And oh, I forgot to set my timer. Let me set it for 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So here we have the USA, which is made up of 50 individual states that you probably have studied a little bit about the states, but each one is shown here, and I've listed them along the side of the map. We've listed them by region. So we went with the 5 regions: Northeast region, Southeast region, Midwest, Southwest, and the West. So we're entering our USA from the south and from Mexico. Why don't we actually start with that Southwest region? Now, I believe it would be a lot easier, rather than trying to write the whole name of the state out, I think we'll go with the 2-letter abbreviation. We've put them along the edge of the map over here next to the name of the state. So Maine would be ME. Okay, Southwest, New Mexico, NM, Arizona, AZ, Oklahoma, OK, and Texas is TX. So I think it'd be best if we do that. So let's start out with an easy one, Texas. We can center that right in the middle of the state, TX, so Texas. Okay, I'll go over to, this would be New Mexico. Okay, try to guess what this would be, AZ. There are a lot of states that begin with A, but this would be AZ, which would stand for Arizona. Okay, and Oklahoma. Okay. All right, so that pretty much comprises the Southwest region, and I think I'm going to just go over here and check them off, just to show that we've labeled those 4 states. Okay, now because it is a region, you know, it might be kind of, I don't know if your teacher wants you to do this, but we could darken it in a little bit. I think I'm going to hold off for right now because I think some of these actual state lines are also rivers. So I'm going to hold off on delineating the region right now. We'll just label them, and we'll decide what to do once we've got some of these regions, rest of the states labeled. All right, let's jump to, okay, we started out in the south. Let's go to the west. Let's put that on the key too. We'll go to the west region. Okay, and let's see, how many are there in the west? I believe there's about, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Well, Hawaii, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 11 states in the west. So let's just do one at a time. California, CA. Okay, Nevada, that would be NV. These are the abbreviations that the post office uses. 2 letters. New Mexico, that's an easy one. NM. Okay, there's 3. Okay, let's do Colorado, CO. Okay, Wyoming, WY. Okay, this is Montana, MT. I believe that is Idaho, which would be ID. Okay. I know this is Oregon. Let me double check the, it's OR. OR for Oregon. And Washington. I know that's Washington because if you use the first letter of these 3 states, it spells cow, C-O-W. That's a nice little trick to remember the 3 states. And Washington is W-A. All right, got quite a bit of that. Oh, Hawaii. Now, Hawaii is a little bit tricky on this map. I haven't drawn Hawaii, but it's way out in the Pacific. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put H-I for Hawaii. I'll put it over here. And I'll put an arrow saying that's the way to Hawaii right there. Okay. So I think that would be, I believe that's the 10. Let me check them off. Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. Oh, Utah. Oh, I mislabeled Utah. I put NM for Utah. Let's fix that. Good thing we got our eraser. UT for Utah. This is a good way to double check your map. Make sure you put everything. Idaho, Nevada, California, Washington, Oregon. Oh, Alaska. We haven't done Alaska. Now, Alaska, similar to Hawaii, is separate from these 48 states down here. So we have way up north of Canada, we have Alaska. Now, it's such a big state, I might actually write it out. I think we could probably write it out. It is the largest state in the country. Plenty of room to write that whole word rather than just AK, which would be the abbreviation for Alaska. And we've got Hawaii. Okay, there we have the whole southwest region. All right, we're getting there. Let's. Oh, you know what we could do? Just a quick reminder, as you're going along some of these areas that you've labeled, it's nice to put a little bit of that coastline in. done Texas, so I can go along that Texas coastline. And I could go into the Gulf of California here. And I could also actually work my way all along that coastline, that southern coastline of Mexico, west and southwest coastline. Which this, you see I've already put a little blue for Central America, so I'm kind of making that meet up now. All right, and then let me get a little bit of blue into the Gulf of California without covering up the letters too much. Okay, and then I can go along that boundary of western Mexico. Now, we won't do it all right now, but eventually we can work our way up the west coast of the United States, all the way up. All right, and I'll try to do a few more states. Let's tackle the Midwest region right now, which has a lot of states, and maybe we can begin with North and South Dakota. That would be right up here. This would be North Dakota. This would be South Dakota. SD. Okay. Underneath, just south of South Dakota, we have Nebraska, which if I look in the NE for Nebraska, even though I'm going kind of fast through these states, here's Kansas, KS. Notice I'm using my neatest lettering and trying to keep them. Don't fall into this habit where you kind of put them on an angle. See how I'm kind of doing that? You see how much harder it is to read that compared to these other states when they're kind of slanted like that. Try not to fall into that trap where your letters are starting to go on an angle. Okay, so let's rewrite that. Minnesota, MN. Here's the chef. Here's the chef's head, and here's the chef's hat. Here's his body. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before. Here we have, time is up. Let's just finish the rest of the chef. I believe this is Missouri, M-O. Missouri. Okay. Just south of Missouri is Arkansas, which is A-R. A-R. Let me make sure that's, is that? Can't find Arkansas. Oh, wait a minute. Arkansas is actually considered part of the southeast region. Okay, so I won't even label Arkansas yet. That's getting into the southeast region. So we've done 3 regions so far. We did the southwest, we did the west, and we did a portion of the, I do have some more states in the Midwest I can do. This is Wisconsin, W-I. Okay, this would be Illinois, I-L. Is Indiana part of the Midwest? Yes, Indiana, I-N. Ohio, O-H. And I believe there's one last state that is part of the Midwest, which would be Michigan. And Michigan is a little tricky. You want to make sure that you've got the main body, and you've also got this upper peninsula as well. I'm just going to put a little arrow connecting them up. And we can make sure we color those 2 areas the same. So let's go through our list real quick and make sure we got all of those. We got Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Nebraska. All right, so we did 3 regions. We labeled three regions. Okay, that was quite a bit of work. I think that's a good place to stop. And if you want to wait for me, I'm going to do the remaining 2 regions in the next video, and maybe do a little bit more coloring, and we'll talk about coloring in the states. Okay, thanks. Good job today.